Okay, hi, I'm Bill Mulligan. I'm a maintainer of the Cilium project, and this is what I've learned being a maintainer about why people choose cloud-native projects, and in this case, specifically Cilium. So Cilium is the only graduated project in the cloud-native landscape in the networking category, and it's really become the standard default CNI for any Kubernetes anywhere. And it has a lot of support in the community too. In everybody's favorite metric, GitHub stars, Cilium just recently crossed 20Ks. But actually what I'm more excited about is the number of public users and public stories about the Cilium project. There's 153 companies that have said, yes, I use Cilium, and 74 of those either have a blog post, a case study, a video about why they love Cilium and what they do it. But the question is what actually caused all these end users and all these companies in the ecosystem to choose a cloud-native project or to choose Cilium to solve their problems? If you go into the project README, you know we have a lot of great things here, like it's unlimitedly scalable, highly efficient, deep network visibility, right? These are a lot of marketing terms, but that's not why people choose projects. The reason why people choose projects is because they're trying to solve an actual need or challenge that their business had. Because there's something that they can't do with their current technology or their current way of doing things, and they need to choose a different solution to do that. And so I've gone out and interviewed 23 different companies across the cloud-native ecosystem about why they chose Cilium. And now I'm gonna share with you some of the insights from that. And the way that we structure this is the challenge, the solution, and the impact. The challenge is what they're trying to overcome. The solution, in this case, is Cilium, and then we'll go through the impact of each of them. So the top reasons that people choose Cilium are things like performance and scalability, right? Really important in distributed computing, network policy. I know security is becoming an even larger topic all the time in the cloud-native space. Simplifying their stack. If you saw in the keynotes earlier, the cloud-native landscape is super complex. How do you manage that complexity? Well, you simplify it. Things like self-service, encryption, observability, multi-cluster, and more features. So let's dive into a couple of these. So in terms of performance and scalability, Trendall is an e-commerce site based in Turkey, and the problem is they wanted to be able to sell things faster and provide a really great experience for their consumers. And so what they're trying to do is increase their network performance. And by switching to Cilium, they were able to increase their performance by up to 40%. Right? So even as the cluster traffic surged, the performance remained steady, right? So meeting their performance and scalability challenges. In a similar way, Seznam is a company out of the Czech Republic, and when they switched to Cilium for load balancing, they saved 72x the amount of CPU. And that's just not, you know, like kind of like spinning cycles. It's actually a lot of money. They were able to buy less hardware because of Cilium, right? And so if you go back to the keynote once again, you're not going to get that email from the CTO saying you've been eliminated, right? You're already saving costs for the company and proving your value. In terms of like network policy, Bloomberg was using Cilium's network policy, and they were able to implement better ways of segregating their customers, and they were able to add additional features to their customers. So unlocking more business value for their customers while also making their platform more secure, solving the problem of both security and adding more features for their customers. For simplifying the stack, rather than having so many different layers of the network, is it going to be DNS or is it going to be something else? If you can simplify that into one type of technology, that's going to solve a lot of different things. So rather than having to go to 4 or 5 different pieces of software to debug all these things, you can just go to one, right? And so that solves you a lot of pain and complexity too. And so Sys11, who's a managed service provider in Germany, says they're going to choose to do things with Cilium rather than anything else. On the security side, encryption of the network, Cilium became a killer feature for Ascend, which is a data company, because it took away the problem of managing the network. There's more case studies, if you want to read them, around things like observability, multi-cluster, And ultimately, what this does is lead to business outcomes. Companies that choose Cilium can have more sophisticated companies, it's cheaper to debug things, or their customers compare them differently. And so Cilium solves a lot of problems around cloud-native networking, observability, and security, and I'd encourage you to check out the project. Thanks for coming.